Hi guys, welcome back on board to the Crypto Cruise. It's me, Chris, and today we're going to talk about SUI. We're going to talk some chart analysis. Why do I think SUI is going to be able to outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin? It's not only, we have to just look what happened in the previous bull cycles, the previous altcoin seasons in 2013, 17, and 2021, especially the last one. Bitcoin and Ethereum, they won't be able to have the same returns as previously because their market cap valuations are absolutely mind-blowing, and they're huge. And therefore, SUI, as a small market cap and as a layer one of the most used one, I think once the altcoin season happens, SUI will be able to outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum. And before we start talking about SUI, let's just start with the Bitcoin chart, as we always do, because that's the king. And basically, Bitcoin determines where all the rest of the crypto assets will go. So, as we've determined that Bitcoin is in a raging bull market, I've told you guys I have two case scenarios that I think potentially can play out. So basically, Bitcoin can just move between price of 125 and 115,000 in a matter of months, and then potential blow off top by February, March of next year. Or the other case scenario is that we just finish this correction, which I think is probable, and we just have continuation of the trend on the upside and potentially gonna start hitting all-time high prices by 14, 15 of August at 130 potentially, and then a final drop and a shake off and blow off top. Let's see how this thing is gonna play out, but so far so good. We've been nothing but a straight up line from April since Trump introduced the tariffs. And of course, as I've said, in a bull market, corrections are actually healthy, and that's what we're seeing right now. Little correction, forming a bottom, continuation of the trend on the upside. Now, when it comes to Ethereum, I've told you guys, Ethereum looks extremely bullish. We are at its almost all-time high. Of course, not exactly. All-time high was around 4,800. But what I'm actually seeing on the weekly chart is a reverse head and shoulders, which can potentially be absolutely massive. The left shoulder that we've actually formed between May and November of 2021 is previous all-time high. The bottom, which is pretty much the head, which was formed at the bear market in June of 2022. And right now we are forming a huge bullish channel pattern, which is ascending triangle pattern. As you can clearly see, we've tested this resistance line multiple times. In March of 2024, we tested it again in May of 2024. And while everyone was thinking that we're gonna break above it in December of 2024, because we tested it 3 times, we actually collapsed. We recovered, and now we're testing this resistance line. So what I'd like to see is to actually Ethereum to go above 4,200, break above this resistance line, test it as a support, and then we're going to have continuation of the trend, potentially to 6,000, a little correction and blow off top, and potentially Ethereum test prices of above 10,000. I'm not going to be surprised if Ethereum test prices of above 5 digits, because that's something in the chart. This is not just wishful thinking. But let's see how this thing is going to play out. It's interesting for me to see as well. But Ethereum always performs well in a bull market. We just have to look at it in 2017, in 2021, and potentially this can happen again. Let's see. Now, when it comes to SUI, is what I'm actually seeing is basically we are having higher lows, right? Higher lows, which is of course a bullish structure, as you can clearly see, and the top. So we formed a top here in end of December, beginning of January of 2025 at price of around above $5, right? $5.30. Right now, at the time of recording this video, it's around 350. So we're not further away from all-time high price. So basically, if in the next week we recover, and I can clearly see we're having an ascending triangle pattern, and we go and test prices, let's say by October, November, we start testing prices of above 550 at its previous all-time high, potentially we can consolidate in this price And I'm not gonna be surprised if SUI, I mean, of course, SUI then is gonna have a price discovery and test this resistance line that we formed here in February of 2024 at its all-time high, and we tested it. Let's say if we go and test it by end of year, early next one at a price of around $9-10. So we just have to measure this move. That was, let's say, if that's our first wave here, we went from around 45 cents, right, to 5, so around 10x, a little bit more than 10x. So if potentially this is our second wave of the Elliott wave theory, and we measure it, so basically at 170, usually the second wave of the bullish trend is larger than the first wave. So if that potentially happens, of course that's a big if, but if the altcoin season happens, I think SUI can be one of those. I mean, it's already super popular, but it can be one of the most popular in the upcoming bull cycle. And since the first wave we managed to do 10x, or a little bit more than 10x, this wave, which usually the second wave, actually it's so the first wave, which is a bullish one, the second wave, which is a corrective one, and the third wave, which should be the largest wave, is a bullish one. So the first wave gave us, let's say 10x. The third wave potentially can give us more than 10x, because usually if we're dealing with the Elliott wave theory, is the largest one. So from 175, can we go a price of above $20, potentially over 10x? I think yes. So let's see how this thing is going to play out, but so far so good. As I've said, it's a bullish structure setting up high lows, and we're not further away from its previous all-time high. So yeah, and as I've said, if Bitcoin have its blow off top by the end of the year, Ethereum start outperforming, break above 5,000 level, start hitting all-time high prices, then probably SUI will outperform both of them coins, and we'll have a major return for what it is now. But let's see. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I mean, of course, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's absolutely free. And another thing, if you want to support my work, it will be much appreciated if you subscribe to my Patreon. Over there, you can get 2 books of how to become a sophisticated trader. I think that would be very useful for you. And not only that, but you can. I've already wrote down potential narratives of the crypto assets, what potentially will give you the best returns. With some of them 50, 100x potential. And not only that, but I'm uploading a lot of content which is not visible for the YouTubers, but it's exclusive for the Patreon. So I don't think, I mean, it's worth it, definitely worth it to subscribe to my Patreon as well. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. And yes, we see each other later on. Goodbye.